Hey everyone, it's Tika Soda here from Holistic Pet Mentor. And I posted earlier today about what are pet food manufacturers, putting in our pets' food, their dry and wet kibble, or their dry kibble and their canned food, that could be making something that a cat or dog wouldn't normally eat palatable. What makes it yummy to them? What is triggering this ability for them to turn food into something that a pet would not normally eat into something that they love, right? So I see this challenge with a lot of pet parents where they say, but my cat loves their cat food. They love dry. I can't get them off of dry cat food. They won't eat canned. Or how do you get them to switch over to raw, Jamie? They love their dry cat food. So I got curious about that too. Now I know that a lot of pet foods have added sugars like sucrose, and the dry kibbles especially are high in carbohydrates, and these carbohydrates are easily broke down into sugars. Or if you see corn or cornmeal or corn anything, corn syrup, anything like that in your pet food, of course that's going to be turned into sugar and make it highly addictive, right? But are there other things that they're doing, that the pet food manufacturers are doing? And yes, there is. And that sparked a question that I had to Dana Scott of Dogs Naturally. I got to see her and meet her last weekend, and I talked to her before and after her discussion about pet food. And she mentioned to me how crazy it is with the pet food industry, and that pet food companies put these things in their food called SAPs. And I said, SAPs, what is that? And she said, oh, you just Google that and you're going to find out. And I said, okay, I'm very interested. So we had a limited amount of time, and I went ahead and Googled what's SAP. And of course it kept coming up SAP. So that's what you'll see, tree sap. But then I started looking at pet food labels, and I saw what she was meaning. SAP stands for sodium acid pyrophosphate. And these phosphates, and there's several different kinds of phosphates that are added to pet foods. They are salts, okay? So there are types of salts that are added to the food to help with texture, to help with palatability, and to make the food taste super yummy. Okay, and so the sodium acid pyrophosphates in particular, these can be deadly in high amounts. So why are they putting it in cat food? So that they found that cats, they're not grain eaters by choice. And I wrote this down so I could get it right. They're not grain eaters by choice. So they put these chemically derived flavorings and salts to entice them to eat. So pyrophosphates are mixed with meat hydrolysates, and that makes them most effective at enticing cats to eat an unnatural food. So I found that fascinating, because although Buddha is now on raw food and canned food that does not have these pyrophosphates in them, I had a really difficult time switching him off and getting him off of kibble. In particular, he was on science diet for a long time before I realized that wasn't the best food to be feeding him. And it just took me some time to get him to switch over. So now I know the process of doing that. So Buddha taught me a great lesson in helping cats switch over from dry kibble over to canned and then to raw. It's a whole process, and you can actually do it pretty quickly. So some phosphates that I want you to look for, and this was some information that was given to us by LMU in 2018. LMU, that's Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, suggests that excess phosphates in pet food has negative effects on the indicators of kidney function in cats, and could be contributing to the over 35% of all older cats that are suffering from chronic kidney disease. So they did some research on all these pet foods and found that many of them contain excessive salts and excessive phosphates, okay? All right, so let's see. Phosphates, okay, 69% of pet foods contain it. So this is good to know. And the question that came up to me, it led me into this rabbit hole. Okay, so which pet foods, right? So I'm looking up all the common brands. I'm looking up Meow Mix and Which ones have it on their label? Are they hiding it in flavoring? That's possible. They may be able to do that. But one of the pet foods that I found that is high in dicalcium phosphate, it's used as a calcium supplement in pet foods, and it's used to improve texture, but it can cause calcification of soft tissue and lead to kidney stones. And two of the diets, after a little bit of research today, and these are just two of, I'm sure, many more, and this one surprised me, was Hill's RD, okay? Now, RD is their weight loss diet, okay? So it's enticing them to eat this food that is not very nutritious. It's not very palatable. So cats wouldn't normally eat it, so they use it to enhance that food. Also, Fancy Feast has tricalcium phosphate in it as well, which is another type of phosphate. So then I wanted to find, okay, so which company is still using this sodium acid pyrophosphates? So I looked up another prescription food, and it was actually Royal Canin Urinary Dry is using this sodium acid pyrophosphate, which is harmful to cats. So just to kind of give you an idea that this product is still being used today in some really big brands, and I want you to keep an eye out for it and look for it, because they're not good for our pets, and they're used to make your pet food addictive to your cat. So look for other foods that don't contain that. And I'm also going to post an article that has a whole list of things that are added to pet foods that aren't needed in there. Okay, so you want to look for pet foods that have less ingredients, and what you're going to find is that commercially prepared raw diets, and there are some that are great and there's some that aren't great, but they're typically going to have more whole, nutritious foods, which are much better for our pets, and you're going to see such a difference in them if you can make that switch, or even start switching over part of the diet and adding in some more whole, fresh food. So if you have questions about nutrition, or if you'd like a nutritional consult to help get your pet started onto a more natural diet, I would love to talk to you. You can reach out to me through holisticpetmentor.com, and I know that it's backwards on the screen, or you can reach out to me by messaging me through here, through Holistic Pet Mentor on Facebook. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, good luck switching your cats over. Okay, bye-bye.